chicken sexing and how
Yeah.
you have related it to marketing.
Yeah.
Can you explain a bit there?
Yeah. The number of DMs I've got on chicken sexing is staggering. Actually,
Really?
a lot of people, and whenever they have a peculiar phenomenon which they cannot explain, a lot of people attribute it to chicken sexing now, and they ping me. By the way, it's not my idea. I read it in a very popular book. I just attribute it to marketing because it makes a lot of sense. The name of the book is called Moonwalking with Einstein.
Okay.
Highly recommended. Extremely fascinating book. It's a book on memory structures and creating a memory palace and the mind. But as a marketer, I took
Moonwalking
insights.
by Einstein.
Moonwalking with Einstein.
With Einstein.
Yeah,
Okay,
with
got
Einstein.
it.
So anyway, chicken
Yeah.
sexing is this very interesting thing that happened in the 1920s, where the male chick is a pain for a poultry farmer because the meat is stringy. It doesn't really reproduce, so it's useless.
Yeah.
So they wanted to get rid of the male chick, and so they can have more female chicken. The problem is it's very difficult to identify the sex of a chick.
Hmm.
Uh, and therefore, they used to spend a lot of money rearing it, and after a particular point, you could then realize, okay, this is a male
Yeah.
chicken, and then I had to throw it. So the budgets that they spent were extremely high. So they had to figure out a way to identify sex of a chicken. And it turns out when you look at the rear of a chicken, there are few cuts and vents and a few things you can look at, and you can identify the sex of a chicken. Someone in Japan basically understood how to do this, and then there was a school started called Zen Nippon School of Chicken Sexing, something of that sort, right? By the way, I think only 5% of the people ultimately pass through the school as well, so very
Wow.
high bar, right? And the moment you pass from the school and you're a validated chicken sexer, you earned about $500 an hour, which was massive then. You'd literally be flown in charter planes to different countries across the world to
Do
determine the sex
this.
of a chick. Yeah. So if you look at the act of doing this, you have to look at the rear and you have to move to the next. In a farm of about 20,000, you have about 3 seconds to do this, right? In 3 seconds, you have to determine the sex of a chick. It's a hard job, and a lot of people did this with a fair reasonable degree of success. So a bunch of researchers want to understand how do these chicken sexers determine this in 3 seconds. And tons of research, reams of written material around this. Bottom line, they just could not determine how a chicken sexer is able to determine the sex of a chick. And the bottom line answer to that was they just know, right? And that's what I read in the book, these 3 words, they just
Just no.
know. And it was a matter of experience, it was a matter of knowledge, and just sort of
Yeah.
understanding it. And it was interesting for me because there's a brand story in it in terms of what works and what
What
does
doesn't
not
work?
work.
Yeah. At times you don't know the explainable part of it, but
Yeah,
you just know that this will work and this will not.
yeah,
Especially in creatives, it happens a lot.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
few people just get it right.
Yeah, there's an
Majority.
emotional quotient to something that sometimes we don't ascribe to,
Yeah.
but is very ingrained.